Welcome to Good Morning Hospitality, your one-stop shop for the latest news, noteworthy trends, and thought-provoking discussions across the industry. From hotels to short-term rentals to all things travel and hospitality, you'll find each episode equips you with the information that you need to start your week. Join us on Good Morning Hospitality every Wednesday, wherever you get your podcasts. Hey!
Good morning.
Good morning. Man, it is nice to see you. It is nice to see everybody that is joining us on this live. Appreciate, by the way, for joining us at a little bit. I know last week we did a little bit later. Today we did a little bit earlier.
Hey, we're busy people. Things are going on, but we're here for the
Things are
audience.
going
We
on.
show up and bring
Yeah,
our
so
best energy.
exactly. And that early morning energy, not brought to you by Alani, but brought to you by Alani. If you know
Or
what
I
I
gotta
mean.
try Alani. I haven't tried that yet. But I'm drinking
It's
my Biscayne coffee
tasty.
over here.
It is tasty. Well, one of the reasons why we're doing it a slightly different time, I'm going to be heading off on a flight to Costa Rica. And for those that have followed along on my Instagram, I have not been posting that much on LinkedIn because it's been a whirlwind. I was also just in Cabo, and I was in Cabo. By the way, this is a fun little tie-in to LinkedIn. I met the guys that own this company, Destinations by Reliance, and they are starting to put together some really fun trips. They have a really fascinating company, and they put together this awesome trip in Cabo. This was the first one, and got to experience it firsthand, and it was amazing. It was so
Yeah.
great.
I saw
So,
some of the things you're posting. The place looked great. A lot of good people there.
oh,
Man,
the
I got the
hotel.
I got the invite. I'm like, man, it's hard for me to travel with kids and a
Oof.
wife and jobs, but
And
I
then
lived
you're
through
watching
you.
my stories, and then you're
I'm
like,
like,
"Oh, I
looks
should have
pretty
said
cool.
yes. I should have figured out a way to say yes." Next time we can make something happen. But yeah, it's so that's why we're doing it a little bit different. But we wanted to,
Yeah.
keep it live, keep it real. So
And
if
next
you're joining
week,
us, oh
we've
yeah,
got a special
oh,
live. Why don't we tell the audience what's going on? Why don't you fill them in?
no, mark your calendars. Tell your kids, tell your wife, whatever that's like. Oh my god.
I'll tell my kids and my wife.
Thank you. Perfect. We are going to be live and in person this
Back
time.
in Miami. We cannot keep Sarah away from Miami. She's addicted to it. She's
I
going to
do.
be here, and we are going to be at the Biltmore Hotel
We
in Coral
are.
Gables, the iconic Biltmore Hotel. Beautiful hotel that we will be filming live from.
Exactly. So we'll be at a regular time, but we'll be there, and it's going to be awesome. I'm excited. Always fun
Yeah,
doing a live show in person.
it's always great. And I'm excited to get you on the 50 hotels in 50 days. By that time, we'll
Ooh.
be almost wrapped up. It might be
Oh,
Hotel 40 by that time.
oh,
So
I can't wait. I
it'll be
can't
very
wait.
exciting.
Ooh, I hope you've got a good one in store, which we will not tell anybody about, but
We'll
even I'll
keep
be
it.
surprised.
We'll keep it going. We won't tell the Biltmore that we're gonna be showing up there because we have to come in unannounced, so we may
Yeah,
or
yeah.
may not do it there.
For sure, for sure. Cool. Well, we have a lot of awesome topics today, and
Yes.
we might as well go ahead and dive in. If you guys are joining us on the live, let us know where you're joining us from. I don't know if I'm seeing any comments come in, but that could just be a connection issue on my side because
Mhm. And we started a little early, so I'm sure we'll start seeing people pop in here.
exactly. Get your morning snacks. Come join us. All right. So the first interesting thing that is going on in the world of hotels, IHG just announced that they are going to be launching Apple AirPlay throughout their North American properties. How cool is that?
I love this.
Me
There's so many
too.
times that I go to a hotel and then you have to, like, log in and you
Oh
put
my
in
God.
your Netflix or your Disney Plus for me, and then you forget to log out, and you're, like, worried about who's now looking at your account and putting things on there. So
What?
now you could just stream through very nicely.
It's
I like
awesome.
this.
This is so cool, and by the way, this is the first time that Apple has really partnered with any hotel, so they also made the announcement. And it's the first hospitality company to just even offer this at all. Super easy. You're gonna be able. Oh, good afternoon, Kat in London. I will be calling London just after this live, so it'll be nice to be on your time zone, at least on the phone. Um, But I love that you're going to be able to just scan the QR code
Mhm.
and on the hotel or go to the hotel's Wi-Fi and just really start streaming. It's super simple.
Yeah, they say you scan a QR code, it takes you right there. You don't have to worry about the privacy issues because everyone has a
Yeah.
unique code, which
Mhm.
I love seeing. And so for me, big win. I love when hotels start to catch up and start getting
Same.
new technology in place and start putting things that are very good for travelers. So good job, IHG, because they're always competing with the Marriotts and the Hiltons of
Mhm.
the world. I love seeing what you're all doing. They're doing some really cool things. Their
They're
hotels now have a good
they're great.
mix. Yeah, they're really stepping up. I've always been a fan of Intercontinental hotels, like their
Mhm.
name brand, but they've now invested a lot of money in those hotels. So now they're becoming more and more, say, like to date. They were a little falling behind, I think, but now I love all those hotels that they've got.
Oh, they're doing great stuff, and I mean, it's now actually available in more than 60 hotels, so, like, it's happening. By the way, do you have Apple CarPlay in your car or no?
I don't actually have it in my car because like mine is it's a 2018. It didn't have it when I got it. So
That's not an
now the
old
new
car for the
one,
record, so you don't have to, like,
oh, I know, but I was like, I wanted it. I
Oh,
don't
yeah,
have it
yeah,
in
yeah.
there. And but no, I do not. And I'm
It's
wondering for all the Android users, it's not many. I think it's like 10% of the users of phones are Android. Are you? You're not. I get blue text from you.
me.
Yeah,
That's
Will
cute.
Will Slickers is
That's
not either, our
cute.
producer in the background. What do you use out there, viewers? Are you Apple or Android? I'm curious to see what you got out
I
there.
am Apple. Everything is Apple. My watch, my laptop, my phone, like
Same
all of it.
here.
Yeah, I mean, everything's connected. I can just hand off stuff like super easily. I mean, I'm a fan. I'm into it. But I've always been a fan of Apple. Like we had Apple computers like in the 90s, like when it was
Yeah, that was my college computer too, the cool one that looked like a lamp that moved around. I love that
yes,
one. I still have it.
a lamp. Oh, all
Anyhow, we're getting off
Apple all
track,
day.
but one other cool thing ISG is doing too is they're starting to weave in AI into their
Yes.
planning and search tools, which any company using AI now, I love it. It makes things so easy. I don't know if you saw it now, but all of Meta's companies, so Facebook and WhatsApp and Instagram, have you been playing with their AI tools that they just forced
No, but I'm
everyone to have?
worried that I'm gonna do a search for something and it's gonna go crazy because it's, like, in the same thing as, like, the normal search, and I
Yep.
was like, "Wait, wait, wait, what?" But I haven't totally played around with it
It's
yet.
very powerful. I've been doing copying and pasting a ChatGPT versus Llama 3, which is Meta's, and it's very
Ooh.
cool. They give some different answers, some unique answers. I love seeing it,
Oh,
especially
so you've
for
been
hospitality.
comparing back and oh, I
I'm a
love that.
big ChatGPT user for a lot of
Yeah,
things. So for me, it's interesting to see all these different tools, but this one's just right there. So I'm excited to see
yeah.
how it works.
I know, that's gonna be awesome. So it's cool. It's cool to see again, like all of these different properties, just adopting different elements of technology. So that's awesome.
Yes.
Similar, but this is another big news in the world of hotels. Marriott actually just celebrated a big milestone in their journey towards becoming net zero, and this is great for especially our sustainability folks. And so many times companies announce that they have sustainability goals, but then to end up reaching them is huge. And
Yes.
so this just happened, I think, like 2 days ago that they.
On Earth Day, I think they announced it. So Earth Day was Monday. So there you go. See, you would travel in the
Oh,
world, but on Earth Day, they made the big
yeah,
announcement that they're going to do this, and I love seeing it because you see a lot of people, like you said, they talk the talk, but they don't actually walk the walk, and it costs money and investment to get it done. But that's what is really making a difference because hotels are big users of
yeah,
everything.
of
You walk through
course.
any big resort or convention hotel, you really see like how much garbage is going in and out of there, how
I
much
know.
energy they use, how much water is being wasted if they don't have things in place. So I love seeing that Marriott is really focusing on this because they can lead by example and show what's
Yeah.
going on.
It's great, and, like, for just reference, they're actually the largest global hospitality company to basically receive this approval from the Science Based Targets Initiative, for both their near-term and
Mhm.
long-term greenhouse gas emissions. So, that's huge. That's
Yeah.
a really, really, really big deal,
So they
and
say by 2050. So net
mhm.
zero greenhouse gas emissions across its chain by 2050. I'm excited to see if they can pull this off. I mean, it sounds like a long way away. We'll be maybe in their senior citizen program by that time, but
Yeah.
you and I will be able to check on it.
No, totally, and, like, to give you an idea, like, what are the areas they're focusing on? Energy reduction, renewable energy production, purchasing goods with lower carbon footprints, all of that kind of combined together is how they end up getting their net zero. So it's pretty interesting, how they're able to kind of balance it all out.
Yeah,
Um,
look, some people are searching for it now. You have brands that really focus on it. I mean, we first that
mhm.
comes to mind is always One Hotel and Raul Leal's team there. They do a great job
Oh
across
yeah,
those
yeah,
brands. Like
totally.
they live it. Everything is that way. And there's a lot
They
of other
do.
brands like that. And a lot of one-off places that do as well. But when you have Marriott leading the way, everyone
Yeah.
else seems to catch up. Like if they're doing it, let's catch up and do it too. So
Oh,
good job,
totally.
Marriott.
Yes, good job. All right, our next topic here. Love this because we had talked a couple times about the Michelin ratings
Oh
for
yeah.
hotels.
Mhm.
So and what's great too is I actually am currently in the midst of looking at and booking some Paris hotels for a client of mine. So I was like, oh, this is just my perfect world. So interesting and curious to hear what you all think. So the Paris best hotels. They're a recent sort of it's what is it? It's Shiji Review Pro
Yep.
basically published a report just last Wednesday comparing the Michelin ratings for Parisian hotels. So basically, what Michelin rated as the best hotels in Paris versus the average hotel, the scores on travel review sites. So like TripAdvisor, Booking.com, etc. They did the comparison and they found that there was not a lot of overlap.
Mhm.
What do you think of this?
I like it a lot because if you go back to look at the Michelin restaurant
Yeah.
stars that they give out and the Bib Gourmand Award, which is like for a great place to visit, a lot of them are hole in the wall restaurants and mom and pop type restaurants. And so I was excited
Mhm.
to see this when it came out because, yeah, they're giving the three keys because they give out keys
Yeah.
to like some of these. I think they gave a couple, only one in Paris had one, but it was like
Yeah.
ultra premium, outstanding hotel. But then you had a lot of hotels that really aren't considered like ultra luxury, but they are great places to stay, whether it was the
Totally.
hospitality or the design or the vibe, because they take all these things into account. It's not just like Forbes where you hit these standards and you do that regularly, you get
Mhm.
a Forbes star. This was more
Yeah.
about feeling and vibe and things that you can't really put your finger on and study for on answers of the test. So I like it because it gives some of these boutique hotels and places that you may not check out a chance to really stand out.
Also, as somebody who has just in real time been looking at the rates of these properties, it's a very humbling experience. So some, for example, some of these Michelin rated hotels in Paris, granted it's a busy time now, we're leading up to the Olympics, but their rooms are starting at like 800 euros a night, 1,000 euros a night more. Suites, I mean, like at a basic suite you're looking at 3,500 euros a night, and there are people that will spend that. There's definitely a market for it, but that isn't necessarily for everybody. And so I feel like that makes sense for the Michelin rated stars. That is what they're offering. And that sort of price point. And there's going to be a certain level of expectation when you're paying that much money
Mhm.
for a property versus maybe you're paying something that's more of like 500 euros a night. And you can still have a wonderful experience at these properties that are 500 euros a night, but that just might be more accessible,
Yep.
financially accessible.
I agree. Like hotels right now are crazy prices still, and everyone, especially traveling. I was just looking here in Miami that we haven't got our Michelin rating. They did the Michelin restaurants this
Yes.
week, so everyone got their Michelin stars again here in Miami, which was great to see.
Nice.
So we're waiting to see how the hotels portion comes, and people are really thinking about like how do we stand out here? Because if you don't get it and somebody
Yeah.
else does, it does make a huge difference in bookings, right? And
Oh,
so you see
sure.
it. If you get your Forbes 4 or 5 stars versus losing one,
Mhm.
it's a big deal, and you can
It is
lose
a
a
very
lot
big
in
deal.
rates. So I'm curious to see how it works in France and how this really pushes demand, and if people are actually care what Michelin is awarding keys because you've got the AAA, you've got Forbes, now you got Michelin. So I'm curious to see, and plus all the Google reviews. I think that's like really the standout is like what is
Yeah.
Google actually saying about these hotels versus this award that they got.
Do you do Google reviews? I do.
That's all I do now. I
That's
don't
all
look
you
at
do.
any other place because they aggregate everything in one place, and that's the first
Yeah.
place I go to, and then I sort by newest so I can see what's going on,
Yeah.
and not by most helpful. So if you're searching, go to Google reviews, search from newest, and you'll really see what's going on in that hotel.
No, totally. Write Google reviews for businesses. I'm
You
a big
write
fan
them.
of doing that. Yeah, I
Oh,
actually
you
write
leave
them.
them. Gotcha,
So I
gotcha.
leave them. I leave them. I
Me too.
sometimes try to be a little discreet just because it is like my full name out there.
Mhm.
But I mean, it's also super honest, and I figure why not? You know?
Yeah, something I wanna do on the next challenge here, I think, is go to, like, low-rated hotels and see if these reviews are
Ooh,
actually real and be like, "Is this a
ooh,
real review, or can I bust those reviews and say, 'Hey, it's actually a good place.'"
review buster.
Yeah, review buster coming through.
Oh my god, that's amazing. Yeah, well, I mean, reviews can obviously affect so much, so that'll be interesting. I'll definitely be tuning in for that.
Yes.
Um, so switching gears, let's talk about some travel things that are happening. This was kind
I'm
of wild.
laughing at this one already when I saw the headline.
Yeah. So it's this first and I mean, I'm in California, so I'll take the hit for this. First of its kind, California bill is targeting TSA airport security lines. Line cutters, as they like to say. So basically, there's a California bill that's being proposed by state senators, which is ridiculous because they travel all the time. Who for Clear, and they're basically against using Clear. We've talked about Clear before, whether
I'm
like
a Clear user, yeah.
yeah, I have Clear as well too.
Yeah.
Although I will say recently, and I fly Delta almost exclusively today, minus today. But I have a digital ID, and that line tends to move faster than Clear. But for those that don't know, Clear is basically a third party company that was created. Gosh, I'm trying to remember now. It's probably at least 8 years ago, 10 years ago, where they had far more advanced technology at the time, and that's how they were able to do the facial recognition, or also scan your fingertips, fingerprints, and streamline the process and get you in faster than even TSA pre-check. Um, but it is a third party. It is actually not a government agency. And in recent months, or even in the recent year, it doesn't necessarily make the process of getting in faster. But this particular thing is that they're saying, oh, Clear, we need to we can't have companies like Clear anymore because it's basically a reminder that you could just pay to cut the line. And I was just like, wait, really? Like, you guys are losing sleep over this?
Yes.
Like,
It's, crazy to me,
it's
like,
kind of crazy, right?
"You're a line cutter, we're gonna make some rules here because you guys are being mean to us waiting in here in line."
Like,
So, I don't get it. It's like when you go to Disney or Orlando's Universal,
yeah,
you pay extra for Fast Pass. Everyone has the
totally,
capability to go do that if you would like.
totally.
I know some people don't have enough money maybe to spend on that, but
No,
credit cards offer this as a free thing too. So if you sign up for American Express, it's a free service that you can sign up for on American Express if you have American Express cards. I think they
yeah,
got it on Chase and a couple others. So everyone has
they do.
access to it. It's just a matter of signing up and going to do it. It drives me
It's
nuts that we're spending government dollars on line cutters.
Yeah, this seems like a bit of a ridiculous thing that they're trying to push this bill for, and I love that it's like, the least you can expect is when you go through the security line at airports, you don't have to suffer the indignity of somebody pushing you out of the way to let the rich person pass you. I was like, "Bro, you need to calm down." Like, it's not that I mean, has he ever been to a club? Isn't that what people do? Like, the bottle service people get like, they're
Just how
spending
it works.
right?
That's how it goes. But, I'm sure this is also a business thing where Clear's making
Yeah.
money, maybe the local TSA and government or I don't know how this
You
even
know
comes
what?
about.
Actually, now that you said that, because everything comes down to money, it
Money,
is a
yeah.
third party company. And so they're probably going to push this so that they could either somebody somewhere can charge Clear more
Yep.
to stay
In
there.
the
So that's
airports. It's all a
100%.
play. It's all nonsense.
Because at the end of the day, if you're a frequent traveler, you're going to be opting for things that make travel smooth. Like, I don't consider myself an uber wealthy person, and I have all of this, but that's because I'm constantly at the airport. So yeah, these people need a new bill to focus on.
Well, it's
Um,
also the same thing as like airport lounges, right? If you just made the whole airport really nice, you wouldn't
yeah,
need the airport lounge to go hang
no,
out in, right?
totally, totally. A great
Same
point.
thing. Same thing.
Great point. I know. So another topic here, according to new research, even though I don't feel like this is new, but I always love seeing this. Um, so basically, travel is now considered a higher priority over material things. The continued studies keep happening, and they keep finding that people and younger people are just prioritizing travel. And so what was more than a third, so 39% of those who participated in this recent study, the Global Rescue Traveler Sentiment and Safety Survey, say that 5 times quickly,
Best.
they indicated that they were prioritizing travel more highly today than prior to the pandemic. And they 3/4, about 75%, regard travel experiences as more important than material things. So 75% of people were like, "Nope, travel over material things." What are your thoughts on this?
I love this, and I live it. And there was a quote in there that I really like that I want to read that says, "New car
Oh,
sales have dipped, second home
yes.
ownership has plummeted, jewelry purchases are down, and travel continues to increase beyond pre-pandemic levels because people are trading off material possessions for passport entry stamps and memories that come with traveling." And I can agree to that. Like we just mentioned, I don't have Apple CarPlay because that actually was a conversation in my house. Like I could go get that new car, but I'd rather go on this awesome trip for New Year's Eve that we did.
Totally.
And that's kinda how we're doing things with my kids now too, like, "Hey, do you wanna have a giant birthday, or do you wanna have it a little smaller and be able to go to the theme park or go do this?"
Yeah.
And every time now my kids that are young, I love seeing them, they're choosing the experience over the toy they're gonna play with for a day or 2.
And then what? And then you're gonna have to donate it at some point. It's just more stuff that we
Yep.
don't need more stuff. So I love this. I think it's such a great thing. I mean, even what I do with my family, when I can, I try to treat my mom to a trip. I mean, she has plenty of things. Love her. She got plenty of things that I will
Yep.
inherit. And so in the meantime, I was like, "Mom, I don't need to get you like little knickknacks and stuff like that. Let's just go do something together."
Yep.
Obviously, it's a big discrepancy as far as price, and not everybody maybe has that luxury, but you can do different things. You don't have to take them on some exotic trip. You can do something cool, like a cool activity in town. We did a paint
Yes.
experience when she was here. So you can be a traveler in your own backyard. Travel, obviously, as we all know, state of mind, but I love that people are just leaning into this.
No, I love it. And I see Suzanne mentioning here that she was just doing a training class where
Yes,
this
love
generation
this.
doesn't want to buy a house or a car. They want to explore. So
So
I
true.
love seeing that. Suzanne, I see that more and more as I go to hotels and talk to teams and people. People just want that experience.
Oh,
Now,
totally.
it doesn't have to be at the Michelin key hotels. It could be, but I think like you
No.
said, I'm living that too, where I have these beautiful farms down here in Miami that we don't go to, and I took my kids down there randomly, and we're feeding animals and learning about
Oh,
things and tasting different foods. Like, there's things like you said, you can just do in your hometown that have different, unique things going on.
and that's where the memories are created.
Yes,
Like,
great
that's
memories. And Suzanne
totally.
nailed it. Suzanne, I love seeing that you're watching, and great
Yeah.
job training the future generations down here. She's down here with FIU and South Florida making an impact.
Suzanne's amazing. Thank you, Suzanne, for joining. Oh,
We haven't met in
always awesome.
person yet, Suzanne. We'll have to make that happen. Maybe you come over to
Uh,
Biltmore when we're there.
ooh, yeah, Biltmore next week. You got an invitation, so make that happen. But yeah, no, this is again, it's such a great thing. It's not necessarily something that we don't know, but it is really good to see. And yeah, when you think about how much it costs to just get into real estate or other things, like why not go
I
experience the
agree.
world?
I love it.
Yeah. Oh. Okay. So moving on with our final little travel topic here, which I love that this was they did a study on this. So a new study uncovers the US airports with the friendliest staff. And why I this like caught my eye is that's what hospitality is.
Yep.
And
Mhm.
even though we're thinking about TSA or airports, like that's like part of the hospitality experience. There's a lot going on, but, like, you definitely wanna like, you you want the
Yes.
whole experience to be positive.
Should I give the top 3 here that were
Yeah, yeah,
awarded?
give the top 3.
Number 1, what do you think out there, viewers? It was the number 1
Yes.
friendliest airport. It was
Mm.
Portland. Portland
Yeah!
International Airport was
Woo!
awarded as the friendliest of all of the hotels with a 44 out of possible 50 score. Following Portland was Indianapolis, and rounding out
Mhm.
the top 3 was Jacksonville, Florida. And then they got the
Love
list here of
this.
10, which has got a bunch of other ones on there. Miami, definitely not make that list. Might get into a fight here in Miami, but I would love to see it get a little bit more friendly, at least crack the top 10. But Tampa was on
No.
there, Raleigh,
Um,
Cincinnati,
I love
Nashville, Dallas, Pittsburgh. So some good places.
it's so funny. So it's like being somebody that travels a lot, I've been to a lot of these hotels. So actually in 2 weeks, I will be at the Portland airport. Portland airport is also known for their famous carpet. So I will post a picture of
Oh,
that,
cool.
share that. Yeah, it's been around
What's
forever.
going on?
No,
It's like a
it's like
1980s
this,
carpet.
like, yeah. It almost reminds me of an 80s roller rink
Oh
carpet.
yeah.
Yeah, you
I
know
know
it. Like, if
exactly.
you see a picture, you'll be like, "Oh, I've seen that before." It's like this almost like turquoisey, like green turquoisey color with like red and like yellow, like little like stripes on it, like small stripes. So Portland's awesome. Jacksonville also really great. I
Yeah,
haven't
like
been to Indianapolis. John Wayne, which is right here in Orange County. I mean, it's super small,
tiny. Yeah.
intimate. I was just in the Pittsburgh airport 2 weeks ago. Everybody was super nice there. Nashville. By the way, Nashville is a great airport. I am a big fan. They've got it going on. It's clean, it's up to date. They've got lots of like great food options there.
Mhm.
Um, I was just in Dallas, Love Field. Tampa is also great. Tampa has
Yeah,
the
Tampa's good.
with the
Sky
flamingos, right?
trains. Yeah, giant flamingo. They got artwork, nice sky trains. A lot of cool stuff at the Tampa one. I've been there a
Yeah.
bunch. It's sad asking what's the least friendly? Ooh, I don't know, but somewhere in New York probably would be my guess. Every time I go there, no
Oh.
one's nice.
It depends. Like sometimes like I'll have more challenges in smaller airports,
Mm.
as far as just they're like they
Overwhelmed?
just they're either overwhelmed or whatever and it's like, "Yo, bro." Like I
Chill.
always find it interesting to see where I set off the metal detector because I wear very much, the same thing whenever I go to travel. So it'll be funny where it's like I don't set off the metal detector in Los Angeles, but then I'll set off the metal detector in another airport randomly just because whether it's my Apple Watch or I have a
Alright, well,
bracelet
we need
and
TSA to pay attention. Sarah's flying and setting off alarms, TSA, at certain airports and not others.
it happens. I'm like, "Go ahead, scan away. Scan away. I need a female assist over here." Uh,
Yeah, you're gonna have to make your own list. That's what, the viewers are saying. You gotta make your own list that we can have here for next week.
yes.
So your top 10,
Ooh,
because 'cause you're all
okay.
over
All
the
right.
place.
We could definitely work on that. Okay, real-time recap. Oh, wait. Well, hold on. What Suzanne said. She wrote this. I do fly a lot. You are correct, Suzanne. Uh, oh, yeah, the crazy deal with TSA closing at 8 a.m., and small airports, if your flight's delayed, you can't get through in time. Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Not
I
good.
don't know. Staffing issues, I guess.
Probably.
Yeah,
No bueno.
that I know. Definitely crazy. Okay. We're right in time for our real-time recap. What have you seen in the world of just in the world in general? It could be hospitality, it could be other things. What's been on your radar in this past week?
Well, again, like, I'm visiting hotels every single day, so it's taking up a lot more time than I thought, but I'm glad I have this time to go see what's going on, and I wanna give a
Yeah.
shout out to the Mayfair Hotel in Coconut Grove, Florida. A
Okay.
beautiful hotel. You feels like you're stepping into a different world, and the team is ultra nice. As I was walking through there, they actually saw me filming, and they were like encouraging me to like, "Hey, check this out, and check out this new
I love
Moki
that.
car we have for rent." Like they didn't know who I was. They're like, "Hey, take a look at this." Like the staff was just being
That's
genuinely
cute.
nice, and which is always great. So great job to the general manager Reese at that hotel. He's doing a fantastic job.
Well, especially I love that because, if they have something that's like Instagram friendly or like really like you want people to take photos of it. So I do find it
Nice to see
interesting
this
when people
hotel
stop.
crazy these days. Yeah, I'm going. I
Yes.
told you this 50 days and 50 hotels in 50 days is
What number are you at?
I'm halfway through today, 25.
Woo!
Halfway through. Chugging
Ooh-wee.
along.
Ooh-wee. All right, so my real-time recap, I was just in Cabo for those that have followed along on my adventures, and I got to stay at this really cool hotel, which I knew of, but I had never experienced, and it's called Hotel El Gonzo, and, it's such a cool property. So it's, I guess, technically like a four-star property. Oh goodness, the most comfortable beds I think they actually might be the most comfortable beds I've ever stayed in, and I've
Whoa.
stayed in a lot of beds.
Yes.
And I, I don't that it was like sleeping in the middle of like two fluffy pancakes. It was just crazy, and so everything I know, right? Like it was the best
Wait, do you
sleep
like
of my life.
soft mattresses, firm mattresses? What are you a fan of? Like when you're say, I want this kind of mattress, what kind?
Oh, no, no. I like firm mattresses, but you've got a firm mattress, and then you've got like a little bit of like the
Tempur-Pedic
feather
style?
bedding,
Mhm.
feather bedding, and then like a duvet on top, and then it was just like the right temperature. Oh, I took apart the bed, by the way, and took a picture of it so I can figure out a way to replicate it at home. I was totally doing that. But the property is amazing. It's super art inspired and music inspired. So every room was designed by a different artist, and it was just fun and it was playful. It is totally the type of hotel that I would say. And of course, obviously, the staff was so friendly. The food was great. Like I have nothing but incredible things. I was like, can I move in? Like, can I move in? I'll just like make content for you every single day and just tell everybody to come and stay here. But small 60-room hotel,
That's small.
and they are just yeah, but they're killing it. And definitely small for Cabo standards because you do have a lot of big resorts
Big like
there,
resorts, yeah.
which are wonderful. But this was far more intimate and it just had a vibe that like I just wanted to bottle up and just oh, so cool. Oh, they even had a recording studio. So they in the
Oh,
recording
see,
studio in
we
their
had
lobby,
talked
they
about
could
that's
go
cool.
right. Love
So
this. So
that is very cool. I have to check it out. I'm getting more and more into boutique hotels now. As I've been
oh my
traveling
gosh.
around and seeing some of these hotels that do it really well. There's
Mhm.
certain times I want a resort where I don't have to leave and have to worry about stuff, but like there's something about some great boutique hotels that you really feel like you're kind of at home if you find the right
And by
one.
the way, I love that you bring that up because we had, 2 hoteliers that own many hotels. They're actually part of the AHOA group.
Hey,
I won't say
Jeremy.
their names here. I won't say good morning or afternoon, Jeremy. Thanks for joining. We started early, so don't worry. But so we had a couple of hotel owners come, and they own different types of properties. Whether it's Marriott, Hilton's, Embassy Suites, those
Yeah,
type of properties,
yes, the franchise market.
and yeah, definitely. And they were like, "Oh, what an eye-opening experience!" And for people that have owned many hotels for many, many years, decades even, they were like, "I'm into this whole boutique hotel situation." So it was cool to see them having this realization and they're thinking like, how can I add some more boutique hotels to our portfolio because they really enjoy it. So that was neat to see. What I was like, you don't have to convince me. I'm like, I'm already there. I'm on the boutique hotel
Yes.
bandwagon. Like, I'm all
But
for it.
I just want to warn people here that are doing boutique hotels. I've been in some hotel. I don't post these because I don't want to ever make anyone look bad. But they're buying stuff like off of Wayfair and IKEA and putting it in their lobbies. Don't do that because it makes your hotel. You
No,
buy
no, no,
IKEA stuff, you get IKEA prices. Look
no.
for
Yeah,
some unique things that you can put in there. Even if you're buying it off Facebook Marketplace, some decent things if you're trying to save
yes,
money that give it some personality and character. Boutique hoteliers, give your place some character, some warm feeling. Don't go buy what's sitting in Target right now.
totally. That's a
Sorry, I
really good.
just saw it. I saw this happen. I was like, "Man, I wanted to share your stuff, but you cannot."
But no, no bueno. Kat was saying, could you repeat the name again? Yes, it is Hotel El Ganzo. I will write it in the
Like the Muppet.
afterwards.
Like the
Yeah,
Muppet
yeah.
Gonzo?
I think Gonzo was technically with an O, but El Ganzo, Ganzo. By the way, also right
Gonzo.
across the way, so you would have to take a little boat to the beach club. I'm sorry, I'm gonna just sing their praises, but I was really so obsessed with them. So you take a little boat across the tiny marina that it's on, to the beach club, and then there was this really cool restaurant that was called Crania, right over there that had this like Burning Man sort of feel. You think it's just going to be a club, and you're like, okay, we get it. Some of the best food I've had. They had these basic Michelin trained
Alright, how
chefs,
much
by
they
the way.
paying you today? How
No,
much they
they're
pay
not.
you today,
They're
sir?
not. It was just like that utterly incredible of an experience. So
I love it. If you're
check
saying
it
that,
out.
that means it's definitely worth checking out because you go to
It
so
was
many cool
wow.
places.
So if we're not connected on Instagram, head over there. I'm going to be sharing a lot of video recaps of the experience because I can't talk about it enough. But it was wowzers. So wow, we're going a little bit longer here today, but that's all right. Our hospitality quote, Will. What do we got going on here? You can put it. Okay, perfect. So, would you like to read this?
I'm gonna read the whole quote. Hospitality is all about relationships. Your relationship with your coworkers, management, guests, and vendors. Positive relationships are imperative to being a successful hospitality professional. And that comes from a book that I know, Hospitality from Within by author. Who's this author? I don't know her.
I don't know either.
Sarah
I,
Dandashy, top-selling author,
whoa!
Amazon award winner, and friend
Woo-hoo.
of Good Morning Hospitality.
I'm just a friend of Good Morning Hospitality. That's it, just a friend. I show up every so often. Yeah, no, but I don't know.
So
Obviously I
when you
try
wrote
to
that, what were you thinking about?
just like how everything that we do in the world of hospitality all comes down to relationships. And it is not just our interactions with our guests, but it is our interactions with management. We've all been in a situation where we don't have a good relationship with management.
Yes.
How challenging is that? Our vendors, your vendors, especially, as a concierge, the vendors that we use are an extension of our service. So, that when your guest is having an experience with somebody, that it's an extension of what you're bringing to the table. So it's so important to have these strong, powerful, positive relationships because, as we all know, hospitality is a small world. You can go from one place to another. Your paths will cross again. And that's just the key to success is to just like, you have to play well with others. I mean, it's really
Yeah.
the key, I think, to any industry, but definitely hospitality, our emotional experience industry that we are. So that's where that came from.
No, I think that's great. And I just posted this last night after talking to someone in a hotel that was having a rough time with their
Mm,
boss. And I said, like, you got to limit who you're surrounding yourself with that are bringing that negativity because people who are constantly complaining, they lack
yeah.
kindness, they fail to support your dreams, they're not
Mhm.
seeing the glass is full. You don't want to be around those kind of people. They really drag you down.
Yeah.
And there's plenty of places to work. So if you're in that kind of position right now,
Yeah.
go find somewhere else to work. It's okay. Go find something that you deserve.
Change is so hard, especially, like when you're at a hotel that you're like, "Oh my gosh, but I love this hotel," or "It's such a highly rated hotel and I can't believe I'm here." But, if the atmosphere is not quite right, you need like your whole life will change if you are in a supportive environment. I was in a hotel that was very difficult to be in for a lot of different reasons. Love the property, but it was challenging for me at the time. And then I ended up elsewhere and I was able to flourish in such a different way. And so, I mean, we all know that, but making that change is scary because you're like, oh, will I make enough money? Will it be as cool? Will I like the guests? Whatever it is. Do I have to start as low man on the totem pole with the schedule? I get
Yep.
it. Like, but
Yeah.
it
Don't
kept
be
it's
miserable, though.
no, don't be miserable. Exactly.
Don't
Brighter
do it.
things
See,
are
you made a
are
good choice. And it all led to you hanging out with me every Wednesday
I
here
know.
on Good
Hey,
Morning
hey.
Hospitality.
Who knew that decision 13 years ago would make such a difference? But it does. It
Mhm.
really does. Whew. I feel like I'm out of breath from that
What a
conversation
show. We threw
and
a
my
lot out
life.
here today, a lot of great things. Yeah, I think your life more than anything. She's getting on another plane today. So if you just came in, she just landed
Yeah,
last night,
I did.
leaving this
That's right.
morning. I wish you all the
Exactly.
best on your flight. I'm excited to see what it
Thank
looks like
you.
in Costa Rica, right?
Costa Rica. Yes, I'll be in Costa Rica. So it was just in Mexico. We'll be in Costa Rica. I've already repacked. We're good. We're good. But will
Well,
definitely be fun.
I hope you enjoy it. And for everybody that tuned in today early, thank you for doing it. We always love
Thank you.
interacting with you. Make sure to like,
Yeah,
subscribe, and send to your friends. And we'll see you
exactly.
next week.
Next week in person.